everyone, myself Khyati Vyas from JMP English Medium Saraswati Group of Education. Today I am conducting this session for grade 4, subject SS. We are dealing with chapter number 7, the Plateau region or the Southern Plateaus, and this is my session number 1 for this chapter. So kids, as you already have noticed that we are explaining each and every physical divisions of India. What is physical division? Yes, India is a vast country and it has variation in the landforms. There are mountains, deserts, plains, plateaus, coastal area, islands. All these are called physical divisions. Right? So we have already learned regarding the desert region, the plains, the mountains. In this chapter, we will learn regarding the plateau region. The chapter's name is Southern Plateau because it is located mostly towards the southern part of India. Right? That is why they are called the Southern Plateau. Now what is a plateau? What do you mean by plateau? Plateaus are the lands which are a bit higher than the sea level, but again they are flat from the top. So they are called plateaus. Plateaus are also called tablelands. Okay? So in this chapter, we are going to explore the plateau region of India. But to begin the chapter, as you all know, what we will do first? Yes, we will look into the vocabulary words through the PPT. These words, you have to understand the meanings. I have also explained the meaning of these words with the help of few related pictures, so that when we come across these words in our chapter, you will be having a clear idea what am I talking about. Okay? So shall we begin the PPT now? Let's start the PPT.
Chapter number 7, the Southern Plateaus. First word, plateau means elevated landform that rises sharply above surrounding area. Elevated landform that rises sharply above surrounding area. See in the picture I can show you that the area which is in the center is at a higher level than the areas around it. Right? And again from the top it is flat. It is a flat surface. So that is a plateau. What is it? Plateau means the land which is a higher level than the area surrounding it, but it is flat from the area around it. It is called plateau. Next, seasonal river. Seasonal river means the rivers which flow only in rainy season and remain dry mostly. That means, see in the picture I have shared two photographs. In one photograph which is towards the right hand side, you can see that the water is flowing, and in the other picture the water is not flowing. Now this happens when the water in the river is due to the rain. The rain water flows, and that is why during the rainy season when it rains, this river gets water, and after rainy season when there is no rain, this river gets dried up. So this type of river are called seasonal rivers. What are they called? Seasonal rivers. Next, originate Originate means begin to exist or appear, create or start something. So begin to exist or appear, create or start something. Here you can see, this is a picture of a mountain. On the top of the mountain, where you can see white color snow, when the sun's heat fall on this snow, it gets melted and it becomes water. Slowly this water flows down as a river. So this river originates from the mountain. Originates means it starts appearing. It gets created on the mountains. Right? It takes birth on the mountain. So that is the meaning of word originate. What is it? Originate. Next, cultivation. Cultivation means act of growing something or improving its growth, especially crops. So if you are growing something or if you are improving the growth of something, especially crops, plants, etc., then that is called cultivation. See, in the picture you can see two persons are growing something. That means they are cultivating something. Right? Yes. So cultivation means act of growing something or improving its growth, especially crops. Clear? Next, oil seeds. Oil seeds means a seed or crop grown mainly for oil. See kids, there are some seeds which are grown specially to extract oil from them. This oil that we extract from the seed is used for various purposes. See here in the picture, I have shared some seeds which are used to extract oil from them. See, first one is soya bean, then we have sesame. Sesame is, white till we say. Mama use it in the kitchen, right? Then cotton seed, peanut, safflower, then hemp seed, sunflower seed, all these seeds, poppy seeds and etc. They are all the seeds. There are various other seeds also. All these seeds are used to extract oil from them. And this oil is used for different purposes. Say for example, cooking, lighting a lamp, etc. Right? So oil seeds are the seed or the crop grown mainly for oil. Okay? Next, black soil. Black soil is a type of soil that is black in color due to the excessive presence of humus in it. See here in the picture, the person is holding a soil. Now that soil looks black, right? Why it looks black? Because it has humus in it. What is humus? Humus is the dead and decayed parts of plants and animals. Humus is dead and decayed parts of plants and animals. So in the soil where there is a lot of humus, this type of soil is black in color, and that is why it is called black soil. What is it called? It is called black soil. Next you have red soil. It is a type of soil that develops in warm, temperate, moist climate under deciduous or mixed forest. So this is a type of soil. It looks red in color and it is available in the places which are warm, right? Then temperate. Temperate means it is, not too cold places, and it has moist climate, means there is the water content is more in the atmosphere, that is moist climate, and it grows under the deciduous or mixed forest region. Since it looks a bit reddish in color, this soil is called red soil. What is it called? Red soil. Next, millets. Millets is a cereal crop that is grown for its seed or for hay. They are cereal crops. They are very small in size. They are either grown for their seed or for hay. Hay is dry grass. Now see, I have shared picture of some millets. See, bajra, it has very tiny seed. Ragi, it looks just like mustard, but it has red in color. Then you have jowar, foxtail, that is thinai millet you say. So all these small seeds that are cereals are all together, they are called millets. What are they called? Millets. Millet is a cereal crop that is grown for its seed or for hay. Next, black buck. It is an Indian antelope. See, I have shared a picture of black buck. It looks black in color and towards the down it has white color. It has two horns. It is called a black buck. What is it? Black buck. Next, chausinga. Chausinga, the four-horned antelope. Antelopes are type of animals which are similar to deer, you can say. So this chausinga, it has four horns on its head. Okay, that is why it is called chausinga. The four-horned antelope in India, it is called chausinga. Right? Next, sloth bear. Sloth bear, a bear of India that has long black hair and very large claws. See, I have shared a picture here. This is a sloth bear. It is found in India. Its hairs are black and its claws, see, you can see it in the legs, right? The claws are very large, very large. So what is it called? Sloth bear. Next, nilgai. Nilgai, a large bluish grey antelope of India. It looks just like cow, but it has bluish grey color and it is normally found in the forest region. This is called nilgai, a large bluish grey antelope of India. So here we come to the end of this PPT. Now let's move on to the general video lecture.
Okay, I hope you have understood the PPT words carefully, right? You got the meanings of these words. Now let's begin the chapter from your textbook. The southern plateau are almost triangle in shape. See, I am sharing the picture here, which is also given in your textbook. Can you see that brown color? Yes. The brown color is all the plateau region of India. You can see that it is towards the south of northern plains, and that is why they are called southern plateau. Right? Yes, and what shape do you see that? Somewhat similar to a triangle. That is why we say that it has a triangular shape. The river Narmada divides them into two parts, and it divides this plateau, the southern plateau, in two divisions or two different plateaus. First one is the Central Highlands and the second one is the Deccan Plateau. See, I have already mentioned here, Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. Now first of all, let us look into the Central Highlands part. Where are the Central Highlands located and what is the extent of it? Firstly, the Central Highlands. The central highlands include the Malwa Plateau and the Chota Nagpur Plateau. So altogether, southern plateau are divided in two different plateaus. One is central highland, other one Deccan Plateau. This central highland is again divided in two different regions, that is two different regions. One is Malwa and Chota Nagpur. So central highlands are divided in two different plateaus again, that is the Chota Nagpur Plateau and the Malwa Plateau. Firstly, the Malwa Plateau. Malwa Plateau is surrounded by the Aravalli Hills in the northwest and the Vindhyas in the south and east. So this Malwa Plateau, it is surrounded, one side it has river Narmada flowing, right? But it is surrounded by Aravalli Hills. They are hills. What are hills? Yes, the mountains which are not of great height are called hills. If it is very high, then it is called mountain. If it is not very high, then it is called a hill. So Malwa Plateau is surrounded by Aravalli Hills, that is in the northwest, and it is surrounded by Vindhyas. Vindhyas is again a mountain. Vindhyas is a mountain. It is surrounded by Vindhyas in the south and the east. So, in between the Vindhyas, the Aravalli Hills and the Narmada River, you are having Malwa Plateau. Next, the Chota Nagpur Plateau forms the northeastern part of the southern plateau. Chota Nagpur Plateau is towards the northeastern part. What is northeastern part? Yes, you already know the directions, right? So, which main directions are there? These are the four main directions: north, east, west and south. In between north and east you are having northeast. Between south and east you are having southeast. Between north and west you have northwest, and between south and west you have southwest. So here Chota Nagpur Plateau is in the northeastern side of the southern plateau. It is the richest mineral producing region of India. Richest mineral producing region because Chota Nagpur Plateau has mines from which you extract many different types of minerals like iron ore, bauxite, manganese, etc. So all these minerals, what are mines? Mines are the places where minerals are extracted from the surface of the earth or beneath the surface of the earth. The earth is dug and then from inside the earth, from inside the surface of the earth, you can get the minerals. So Chota Nagpur Plateau is rich in minerals. There are many types of minerals found in this region. Next, talking about the Deccan Plateau. That is this one, second one. Central Highlands, it is divided in Malwa Plateau and Chota Nagpur Plateau. Then Deccan Plateau, second one. The Deccan Plateau covers most of the southern part of India. That is towards the south of river Narmada, you are having this Deccan Plateau. Towards the north of river Narmada, you are having the Central Highlands. And that too, Central Highlands, it is one side Malwa Plateau and the other side towards the northeast you are having Chota Nagpur. And the southern part of India is Deccan Plateau. It extends from Satpura Hills. As I told you, Malwa Plateau was surrounded by Vindhya Hills. This Deccan Plateau, it has the Satpura Hills in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. So, between you have Narmada River. After that, there is Satpura Hills. From there, Deccan Plateau region starts and it extends till Kanyakumari in the south. That is the southernmost tip of India is Kanyakumari. So it extends till there. The western and eastern side of Deccan Plateau is surrounded by Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. In the map you can see, this is the southern part of India. So here you have the plateau region, this shaded part, what I am showing you. This is completely the Deccan Plateau region. Here the river Narmada flows. Here you are having Malwa Plateau and here you are having Chota Nagpur Plateau. These two together they are called Central Highlands. And this part is called the Deccan Plateau region. Now here, this Deccan Plateau, towards the west of it, you are having Western Ghats and towards the east of it, you are having Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats are nothing but range of hills which divides the Deccan Plateau region from the coastal lines, that is Western Coastal Plain and Eastern Coastal Plain. Eastern Coastal Plain and Deccan Plateau is separated with the Eastern Ghats and Western Coastal Plain and Deccan Plateau is separated with the Western Ghats. So, it has Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats surrounding the Deccan Plateau. Some of the famous hills of the Western Ghats are Sahyadri, Nilgiri, Anaimalai and Cardamom hills. So these are different hills which you find in these Ghats or the Western Ghats. Clear? So now we have to look into the rivers, climate, natural vegetation and wildlife and the soil of this plateau region. But these points we will be explaining in our next session. Right? So let us keep today's session till here. I request you all to read the chapter till where I have explained to you through this video. I am also sending a worksheet which you have to complete yourself with good handwriting and no spelling mistakes. If you have liked this video, please click on the like icon. See you in the next session. Bye for now.